this video, I'm going to show you how I manifested my dream of becoming a healer in the Amazon rainforest. Let's start! Welcome beautiful beings, welcome back to Spiritual Self-Mastery, the channel where we talk about spirituality, self-mastery, and basically many different videos on motivating yourself through your own spiritual ascension and your own elevation in your own personal development. And I also share my own personal story, which sometimes may help to inspire others to do the same. So let's start. In today's very special episode, my friends, make sure that you watch until the very end. I have a lot of surprises and little snippets of magic throughout the video. And if you stay up until the very end of the video, I have a very special gift for all of you. So let's continue. So to start the story, my friends, my name is Nicholas. I am 32 years old, a man from Canada. And basically what happened is that when I was 20 years old, I didn't really know what to do in my life. And I decided to actually, join the military as per the recommendation of my family because, I had like a military type family. Well, more the Air Force. So it's the military, but, not really shooting guns, right? Was in the Air Force as an air traffic controller in Canada. And basically, it wasn't really something that made me really feel happy. And but I stayed there because of the good salary and everything for a little while. And but I kept torturing myself to stay in this job, and I served my country for 11 years. It's cool. It was a fun experience. I learned a lot through that, but especially air traffic control. But it was like so much stress and everything. And I've always been a free-spirited kind of guy. So the military or the especially also air traffic control, where everything has to be rigid and everything has to be like perfect, right? Because you have people's lives under your hands, and I totally get it. But it wasn't really a good right fit for me. So I stayed there, tortured myself, been depressed multiple times, been not like clinically depressed, but like seasonal depression, and like I had phases and stuff, and I was very miserable, very stressed a lot. And then eventually I had my own awakening experience, and my first out-of-body experience and everything completely blew my mind, and I was like, oh my god. And then also I wanted to explore the realms of the mind, so I was like, I better get out of the military if I want to explore things like natural plant medicines and psychedelics, stuff like that. So yeah, so after a little while I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to leave. But it took so long. It took until COVID happened, and then I was like, screw this, I'm putting my resignation. And I went against, I saw everything that's been happening. I saw a lot of evil in the world, especially during the COVID time. And it was a very difficult time for a lot of free-spirited type people that really loves or craves freedom and that don't like to be told what to do. So it was kind of a rough time for me, especially in the military. They were mandating what. And I fought against it. So, but at some point I was like, you know what, I still have to leave, even though I won my battle, my exemption battle. And it was there was still like the mask and stuff like that, right? I don't know. Anyways, basically it was another type of torture for me, so I had to leave. So anyways, I put my resignation, I finally left the military. I felt free for the first time. I served for 11 years, so I was like, 31 years old. After 31 years, I was like, okay, now what now, right? I lost all that stability. And but I explored, then left the military, then explored things like DMT, the spirit molecule, went outside of my body, had crazy insane freaking experiences out of my mind, like then led me to spirituality, a lot of meditation, decalcifying the pineal gland, all the stuff about the fluoride and all of the evils of the world. I really started to wake up to a lot of the things. I was like, oh my god, but it happened a little bit before too, right? So I was like, well, I'm working for the Matrix. I gotta get out of the Matrix. So yeah, so I finally, eventually left the Matrix. Felt freeing. Finally, I'm my own man for the first time. I don't have to like obey orders, even if I don't agree with them. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I left there, and the message I got from the spirit of DMT, the spirit of, I guess higher astrals, or it could be just hyperspace. It could be the deep subconscious. I have no clue. Whatever it is, it led me to come to Peru. So I was like, okay. And at some point I had my own vision. It was like, you know what? I think I had this vision that, oh, you've always wanted to help people. So a couple of years before I left the military, I started my YouTube channel. And then, eventually when I left, I was like, okay, it's perfect. And also what happened is when I decided to leave the military, I literally renounced my pension for life because I wanted to start traveling and I didn't have any money. So I was like, you know what? Following my dreams is more important than long term, than having my money. I can only touch it when I'm at my pension for life until I'm I started touching that money until I at 65 years old. I was like, I'm not waiting that long. Life is way too short. You never know when it ends. So I decided to take the money option instead. So it's a lump sum, a one payment, and I lost so much money there. I decided to take the lump sum and use some of that money to actually start traveling. That's exactly what I did. And so I tried to invest some of it and stuff like that. But basically, I left Canada. I left Canada in October 2022 in direction of Peru. I visited Panama, Mexico, and Peru, and multiple parts of Peru. And then I had my vision, right, to become a healer. I've already started my YouTube channel many years prior, so I already had this instinct type vision of wanting to help people. I've always wanted to help people, and with all the knowledge I've learned throughout the years and everything on the internet about many different things in life, and also my own spiritual journey with meditation, with my own Kundalini awakening and stuff like that. It's all on my channel. I have a lot of stories. But yeah, so I had all this, and I wanted to share with the world, to help the world with all the things I've actually learned, my own awakenings about the one universal consciousness, everything being connected, everything related to light and love. And I just had this immense desire to help the world. So anyway, I was already starting to do that, to share knowledge and to share love and light also with the world, and truth also. And I also had this vision to become a healer, or a shaman even. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to visit many of these, they're called retreat centers in Peru or in other parts of South America, where people will go and do plant medicine, ayahuasca more commonly known as. And basically, I looked for many, many months. I was traveling around Peru and near the Amazon and stuff like that. And I went to different places and visited different retreat centers to basically find my master, or find my teacher, basically the shaman that will actually teach me. So I asked at different places I went and everything. I followed my intuition. I was like, okay, could you teach me? Could you teach me? Could you teach me? And most of them all said yes. But I was like, okay, but I got told also, once you choose your maestro, which means teacher in Spanish, or once you choose your actual shaman, usually you dedicate yourself to that shaman. You can't just go and get teachings from another shaman. Then you're just it's kind of like treason, treason to the ancestors of that shaman, from everything that they've learned, also through their own knowledge of the different plants, the plant diets, the plants that they have connected with from the jungle, stuff like that. So it's kind of important to respect your teacher, your shaman, right? So after multiple retreat centers, I finally found the one. Finally found the retreat center. I was like, yes, this is the perfect place. But the training was quite expensive, and I didn't want to waste all of my pension money all on that. So I was like, okay, I got to figure out a way to actually make that money, to actually pay for that shaman apprenticeship, because sometimes it takes up to 3-4 years of training in the jungle, doing different plant diets, connecting with the different plants, and also ayahuasca, plant medicine, actually really received the messages, which eventually translates into ikaros, the songs that you actually chant to protect from evil spirits during the ayahuasca experience, as the spirit of the plants actually help us to heal our traumas and wounds and energy blockages within the spirit. Very powerful. So basically I found the perfect center where I want to get trained to do it, and then I asked the owner if I could do some sort of trade-off. I was like, I don't really have the money to pay for the training, especially it might take a couple of years and everything. Could I do some sort of exchange with you? Basically, exchange work. I would work at the center in exchange for my shaman apprenticeship for free, pretty much. Well, for free. It's an exchange of energy, equal exchange of energy, right? Through work. And eventually the owner actually told me, Nick, I want to help you. I want to help you with your own journey. I was like, oh, thank God, thank the universe, thank, the higher power, who knows, right? I was so happy. Everything started to fit in. But as soon as I started to leave the military in 2022, guess what? All of my life started to get better. Everything started to flow better. I was happier and I was attracting better things in my life, happier people. I was in better vibration, so I was just attracting a better reality also to me, right? So that comes into the manifestation thing. Anyway, so basically that retreat center that I found, they're extremely professional. It is the most professional one that I have found. But they were charging a lot more than other retreat centers. So I was like, I don't care. They have the knowledge. They have the great place directly in the middle of the jungle. This is the perfect place. It was such a beautiful spot where they were, really isolated, really connected with the earth, right? I was like, no, I have to do it there. So basically I struck a deal with the owner to actually work at that center. But basically the deal was like, if you want to work at that center, you have to do a Kambo practitioner training and become a healer with the frog spirit called Kambo. You can look on my channel. I have a video on this, on the actual ceremony. So I did the whole process. It cost me a lot of money to go through all that training. Oh my God, it cost me thousands and thousands of dollars that I didn't have because I used up most of my money that I had in investments and in my different travels. So I didn't have any more money. So basically I had to put myself in debt to do these courses. That's how strong following my dreams and aspirations was important to me. I was like, I don't care. Following my dreams is the most important thing. Time is short. I don't care. Money is trivial. Money is such a secondary thing. Because what happens is that if you're not happy and you just work just to make money, you'll keep being in lack. Because you're not happy, you're in a lower vibration, you keep attracting lack. So what you gotta do is that you gotta take all the risks necessary to actually do what you like, what you love. Then you'll be in higher vibration, and then you will be in the vibration of abundance. And then once you're into that vibration of abundance, you'll naturally attract all the wealth and all the things, all your desires, basically. It's very simple, but it's something you got to think about. So basically, yeah, so that's what kind of happened. So I went to Portugal to do my Kambo course recently. I came back many thousands of dollars later. Oh my gosh, it cost me so much money, but I was like, so all these courses and everything, it cost me so much money that I have to put in debt, and then I have to pay interest. So it really has to pay off eventually. I really have to have trust in the universe. It really helped me to learn patience and also to learn trust. To trust the process of divine timing, and also trust that the universe has a greater plan for me and that everything will work out. But you gotta have this deep, deep, deep faith and trust in the universe. It's not very easy to have, but I knew, I just knew from the deepest depth of my own core that it will work out eventually. Even though I put myself in debt a lot throughout all this journey, people look at my videos and they're like, oh, he's having it so easy, he had like so much money, he was an air traffic controller. No, air traffic controller in the military don't make that much money. I was a PAR controller, precision or approach radar controller. We're not paid that much in the military, so I wasn't really rich, so I had to take these big risks and put myself in debt to actually do it. But you know, after all this, and once I start to work in a center in a month or two, well, guess what? I'll start to get paid. And they pay very good money. They charge a lot of money for all the courses and everything, but they're highly professional. I'll get the best training, and also I'll get paid well. It'll be pretty much the best pay I'll ever get from pretty much most centers that exist around that region of the Amazon rainforest, to be honest with all of you. Because what I'm looking for is quality. Quality work, quality training. I am looking for the best of the best. That's all I'm looking for. And also during this many-year process that I'm here in Peru in the Amazon rainforest, I will also be probably either 6 to maybe 12 months possibly in a native reserve from another shaman I know. I will not have started my shamanic process yet, so I can still work with him no problem, do some Aya ceremonies or whatever, but basically it will be basically to learn Spanish. I will be on the native reserve to actually learn Spanish, because once I start my shaman apprenticeship to become a shaman, guess what? The shaman only speaks the native language from the actual Amazon, which is Quechua or Shipibo. Sometimes there's so many different languages, but basically that specific shaman that I chose, she speaks Shipibo. So she speaks Shipibo or Spanish. So my Spanish has to be very good, because once you start your training, you're one-on-one with that shaman, right? They are your teacher. They transfer you all their wealth of knowledge and everything. So you really have to have like a good conversation to be able to actually talk in depth, right? Because you're one-on-one with them, but you're also one-on-one with the plants that you're connecting with through your different plant diets, and also with ayahuasca to receive the messages, to eventually be able to cure people. So because of that, I need to learn Spanish, and that's why I'll be working on the native reserve in the region of Pucallpa, Peru. It's going to be an interesting time also over there. I will also help this other shaman to actually build his own maloca, which is the ceremonial circular hut where you make the ayahuasca ceremonies. I will help that shaman. Hopefully I'll get some nice footage. That'll be nice too. I'll learn how to construct it, to construct a ceremonial hut. So it's going to be perfect for my dream that one day in the future, hopefully, who knows, I would like to build my own retreat center and host ceremonies after I become a shaman, after I buy some land in Peru in many years, who knows, right? So everything happens perfectly. You know, I'm literally manifesting all the pieces of the puzzle to create my dream. I'm attracting it into my reality. But I worked really hard for that. And I looked, and I asked shamans and everything, and it just happens. So you really gotta have to trust and find your own passion and really go after it. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that shaman apprenticeship, which might take 3 years. I'm gonna learn Spanish 1 year in Pucallpa, the reserve over there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, oh yeah, and I'm literally leaving tomorrow for, well, tomorrow, it's already, what, almost 1 a.m. here, so basically I'm leaving today from Lima, Peru to Iquitos, Peru, and then the morning after, I'm leaving directly with the group, directly in the jungle, at the retreat center to start my week. And that's another extremely expensive week that they're charging me. But guess what? It doesn't matter. It's worth it, because I'm going to be trained by the actual founder of that center, who ran the center for 8 years. He has such an immense amount of knowledge that he will transfer to me, and it feels like such an honor. I thank the universe every single day for this opportunity, even though it's going to cost me a lot of money. It cost me, I already paid for it, a lot of money, but at least he'll literally train me how to do he'll give me the facilitator training. So I will be learning how to facilitate a plant medicine or ayahuasca ceremony, helping the shaman. I'll be basically the shaman's guardian, or the shaman's right arm, or whatever you want to call it. And I will also be helping the volunteers that are going through their own purging and cleansing process. It's going to be a lot of dirty work, you work with all the puke people. Sometimes you flip the buckets, right, and it's all over the floor. It's not pretty, but it is a necessary process as people release all these negative energies, these trauma out of their body and their spirit, their energy body, and they get completely renewed in the process. So anyway, I'm going to be helping the shaman and learning how to be a good facilitator during this whole week. And at the same time, lucky me, even though I'm paying the money for it too. I'm pretty much paying for the best training because it's the actual founder. He wasn't even supposed to be training me. It's just the owner asked him if he could train me, and he said yes. So that's why he charged me. He charges more money because of the knowledge he has. But he's also going to be, as he's training me to be facilitating, and he knows I'm going to be a shaman, and eventually, hopefully, have my own retreat center, he's going to actually teach me how to run a retreat center. And when he told me that, I was like, wow. I never thought this would even freaking happen. I know I do my affirmations and everything to help manifest my reality, but it's literally happening right now. I just have to pay the price monetarily. But that's trivial, because once I start working a center, like I said, I'll make enough money to pay back. Within 2 to 4 months maybe, I'll be able to pay everything. My trip to my trip to Portugal, my course that cost me couples of thousands of dollars, and multiple other things. And this facilitator training, it will all get repaid. So it's all going to be worth it in the end. And after that, I'm going to be working to actually pay my shaman apprenticeship. And I will have the best training ever. So I hope this wasn't too boring, my friends, but this is my own personal journey. I had to explain all the different details of everything that's been happening. But yeah, so this is another episode of, I called it The Journey. If you want to follow the Journey series, if you're bored of all these boring Netflix series, I mean, they're not that boring, but if you're bored of watching, if you want something really new, right, instead of watching a new Netflix series, well, guess what? Plug in into my channel, Spiritual Self-Mastery in one word, and go on to my playlist called The Journey. And you basically go back to episode 1 and you go all the way up. I don't know. I guess I'm in the episodes of like 50s or something. I'm not too sure. But anyways, yeah, around like 50, 60 episodes, I'm not too sure. But anyways, of my whole process of my journey as I'm leaving the military. And before that, like that's another thing. People didn't even know I was in the military too, until I disclosed it once I left. Yeah, so eventually I disclosed to everyone that I actually was in the military, and then I just left. And then you see the whole process as I'm leaving the house, moving my things into storage, dropping my beautiful little baby cats at my friend Jose. Oh, I love you so much, my friend Jose, to take care of my babies for many years, you know. So my friends, this is how I manifested becoming a healer here in Peru near the Amazon rainforest. And you might be like, well, Nick, you're not even a healer yet. I was like, no, that's wrong. I am actually a healer. I am a practitioner, a Campbell practitioner. So I already practice one of the natural medicines the natives actually use with the Campbell course I did in Portugal, which I will actually use on basically to help heal clients directly at the healing center. And eventually I will take it one step further and become a shaman. So the title is not misleading, okay? As I'm becoming better, working, paying off all the debt I've accumulated, you know, for all these courses, as I learn, as I train, I heal new clients, new people, right? Well, actually, it's not even me that's healing. I'm only the vessel that works with the spirit of the medicines, with the spirit of the animals, such as Campbell, or even the plants, to actually help people, because plant and animals are spirit allies. They're here to help heal us. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching right now, you are the best. And I have a very special message for you since you decided to stay up until the very end, okay? If you stayed up until the very end of this video, you are someone very special. You are someone with a lot of patience. You are someone with a big heart also. You are someone that is open-minded, that is open to new ideas, that doesn't judge necessarily easily, that will humble him or herself into knowing that you don't know it all, and that we can always learn from each other, right? I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, nobody's perfect, and we always learn every single day.
And as long as we humble ourselves and learn more throughout this journey of ours, we can continue learning and getting better and getting stronger, more resilient, the more we humble ourselves. Because the day that we start to think that, oh, I know it all, that's the day you stop learning. And you don't want to do that. Anyways, my friends, that was a special message for today's video. And in a couple hours from now, I'm taking my plane from Lima, Peru, Iquitos, Peru, then staying in my hotel room for like 7-8 hours. And then a couple hours after that, straight to the jungle tomorrow, pretty much. So thank you so much for watching. Follow for more spiritual or self-mastery / inspiring content. Make sure that you smash that like button right now, and leave a comment below, my friends. Peace!